Okay, this is the HVAC system, and it's going to be a little bit on the long side. I'll pick that up. This is the condensing unit. This is the main disconnect, and I'm going to get a still image of this, so I'm going to leave that off. I'll get a still image. See the still image, and I'll put that back on. Okay. So we come along here. We're supposed to have a water diverter over the condensing unit, and that is just a small little piece of edge flashing, like this edge flashing that's all jacked up right here. It's all messed up like that. That's just another piece of that edge flashing. That wasn't designed to divert water. We want to keep water off of the condensing unit. Then our disconnect is not supposed to be behind the unit. It's supposed to be over to the side. And then our disconnect should be sealed. Oh, it is. How about that? Okay. That hole under the wall where the electric conduit's going, that should be sealed. You got a cover on it here. We're moving on along. We're going to look at our data plate here. Oh, here's our refrigerant piping. That's nice, robust insulation. Good. Anti-theft Schrader valve caps. Good. Coming up here, it's a 21. This was manufactured in 21. It's 24 now. That's 3 years old. All right. The model number is 4 tons, 48. 4 tons, 3 years old. This equipment's engineered on paper to last 20 years. It might last 30 years. But Las Vegas is going to give you 14. It might only last 5 years. It might last, so since but it's fairly new. So if new is a word you can use in real estate. So let's see what else we got here. Maximum fuse, 40 amps. We've got a 60 amp fuse in the breaker box. This is overfused. What does it mean if it's overfused? Well, if it's overfused, that means that the breaker will not trip in a timely manner and allow this equipment to run in critical conditions, thereby potentially reducing its life or even causing failure. So it's been overfused. And over here we see that where are we? The refrigerant in this unit is 410A. 410A, no longer manufactured in the United States, no longer legally imported in the United States. Do they have stockpiles of it? You bet they do. Is it going to get more expensive as the stockpiles diminish? It will. It will. And it's not just the refrigerant. If you wanted to replace that valve right there, they don't make those anymore. It's got a reversing valve for the, so this is a heat pump system. They don't make those anymore. They make reversing valves, but not for this refrigerant. Whatever's on the shelf is all they've got, and all this stuff is going to become obsolete. If you just wanted to replace the condensing unit, again, a lot of people just go ahead and replace the whole the compressor. And some people just go ahead and replace the whole condensing unit instead of the compressor, and I get that. But if you wanted to replace the compressor, they no longer make those parts. These parts, the fan, they'll make a fan for you, but parts are going to be hard to come by. So even though this is only a 3-year system, you want to service it because they don't make parts. And they don't make refrigerant. And this unit is supposed to be a minimum of 12 inches away from the wall, so the air can circulate through these coils and it can run efficiently. So what we got our disconnect is behind the unit. We have an insufficient rain diverter. The condensing unit is not level, and it's too close to the wall. And then it's overfused. The fuse is too large. So we're just moving along right in here. We'll come into our garage. We'll swing into this garage, and this is our attic. What's going on with my ladder? So that doesn't look safe. That looks a little safer, but not much. So we come up into our attic, and there is an exception to the code. It says the evaporator, the indoor air handler, doesn't have to have a 30-inch platform if you take into consideration the attic ladder, which you do not have. You know, and even taking that into consideration, we're still lacking. We're still lacking here. And what else have we got? I'm going to get a picture of the data plate and see if that matches. Like I said, it's electric heat pump. So that means that we're not going to, we can run the emergency heat today. We're going to run the emergency heat today, but it also means that we can't run the heat pump operation. Now, it's an air conditioner with a reverse. It's an air conditioner with a reverse, so that means that if it works in the cooling mode, and we want to find that out, it should work in the heating mode. Now over here we'll see a wet spot underneath our plumbing, and that's the primary evaporator drain line. And it's allowable for the primary evaporator coil drain line to discharge outside. It doesn't have to go into the sewer, so long as it doesn't discharge in an obnoxious location. And right next to the house, that is an obnoxious location. Okay, now we're coming over here. This is our secondary drain. It's supposed to be over a window. It's supposed to be over a window, so when it leaks and you look out the window, you'll know that you have a problem. Where it is now, and the way this is also draining, there's the pipe sticking out right there. And where that's draining, okay, you're not going to notice it. You're not going to notice that you have a problem. Again, coming up here, we do not have there's a couple of things we don't have. And one of the things we don't have is we do not have an unobstructed service platform in front of the unit. Let's just say that we put a ladder in here and we want to use that. We still can't, no, that's not, the exception still doesn't apply because we got all this plumbing in front of it. Now I just noticed something. I kind of notice things as I go. On our, no, that's our primary drain. That's not our secondary drain. Our primary drain does have a safety switch on it, but it's got a shallow P-trap. Wait a minute. I guess I'm just too close. It has a shallow P-trap. Now, that it has a shallow P-trap isn't as big of a faux pas as it would normally be, because it just drains to the exterior. It's not connected to the sewer. We've got a care and use manual. This is where the air filter is located. We got electric cables that are too close to our entrance. There's our disconnects for the heater. There's not a lot to see up here except that we don't have access. And I gotta get around the corner and see how these cables enter the... That'll be a Hail Mary shot, but I will. And this is where our air filter is. The air filter should be replaced. As often as the manufacturer says that it should be replaced. It's a 20 by 25 by 4 right there. And it just pops off. And you replace it. Usually when they're 4 inches thick, they want them replaced quarterly. You just kind of pop it in. I'm still looking, guys. This is going to be a trial run on my Hail Mary. We'll see.